What do you see? Do you see a 6 or a 9 or G? Welcome to another episode of Unlocking the Mind Behind Make More Work Less. My name is Fong. I'm an entrepreneur, business strategist, real estate investor, speaker, and also a best-selling author. And every single day, I help others unlock the potentials and guide them to succeed. Today on Unlocking Mind, we talk about another cognitive bias. And the reason why I have this show is so that we can better understand how our minds work, so that we can make better decisions, build strong relationships, and of course, avoid certain cognitive traps. So for today's cognitive bias, we're going to ask you a question. And that question again is, do you see a 6, a 9, or a G? Well, the thing is, depending on where you're standing, where you're looking, what your perspective is, you're right. And the thing is, sometimes if I'm standing on one side, I might go, you know what? All I see is a 6. All I see is a 9. And I believe everybody agrees with me. And that is false consensus effect. And that is where a person like to see that their own behavior, their own choices, their own judgment, their own actions are relatively common and appropriate to everybody else. They believe that everybody else agrees with what they see, what they do, what they believe, and what they think. So that is the false consensus effect. Now, how is this bad for us? Well, if you have a message to share and you go up on stage and you talk about a whole bunch of stuff, but you believe everything that you know everybody else knows, then you're going to use a whole bunch of terms, you're going to use a whole bunch of experience stories and stuff like that, that people in the audience cannot relate to. So we have to assume that they don't know everything that you know. We have to assume that when we're talking to somebody, sometimes they might not have the same reference points as you. They may not have the same experience as you. And therefore, you need to be able to prime and find out what they know, what their background is, in order to find out, hey, whether or not they know just as much as you do, and then you're going to be able to give them more information on top of that, or if you have to start at different levels. Now, this could also be bad for you if you assume that everybody has your same opinions and have your same beliefs and maybe has your same values. And that is very, very common when it comes to politics. You might assume that everybody else thinks the same way as you and supports the same political views as you. And therefore, you go out and you say a whole bunch of stuff only to find that other people don't believe in the same thing or don't agree with the same stuff that you agree with. And all of a sudden, you might lose friends, you might lose connections, you might lose everything else because you went out and talked about a whole bunch of stuff, assuming that everybody else believes the same thing as you. And this causes us to have quick emotional attachments and also quick judgments of other people because we just assume that they are following what we follow or what we believe in. So that is false consensus effect. And the thing is, it could be even as simple as your favorite place to eat. When you go, hey, I believe that this is the best pizza place, and if somebody else doesn't believe so, then maybe you get into an argument and you determine that, you know what, that may or may not be the best place to go. But in your mind, you believe that everybody else thinks the same thing. So it happens in all different levels, from very simple stuff as what's the best restaurant to which political views that you want to choose, or if it's simply 6, 9, or G. So that is the false consensus effect. We have to be able to assume that people don't know everything that we know or aren't looking at things from the same perspective as we're looking at. And once we do that, we're able to connect better, we're able to add more value to each other, and we're able to understand each other better. Know your audience. In the end, know your audience, know the people that you're talking to, understand where they're coming from in order for you to add more value. So that is the false consensus effect. Don't fall prey to it. And if you enjoyed this episode, please go back to watch some of my other episodes on Unlocking the Mind. And if you like Unlocking the Mind, we have a lot of other shows, the Peak Potential Success Show, the Mastermind Bites, and of course, the Make More Mind Bites that's up every single week. So until next time, thank you very much for your support, your likes, your comments, your subscriptions. I love seeing those comments. And until next time, today is the day to unlock your peak potential. I'll see you later.